Hey everyone, this is Ribu. I'm the AI engineer at Botstacks.ai, and this is a tutorial for how to bring your own model. And this is specifically for the HuggingFace models. So, yeah, just to give you some background, as you know, Botstacks is the platform that it's the easiest way for you to deploy your conversational chatbots in any sort of setting, whether it's mobile or your just a chatbot for your website. And there's one feature that's been consistently sort of requested by a lot of you guys is that what if we want to use one of the open source models? Right now we have pretty much all of the closed source, like the main closed source models, your ChatGPTs, Claude, Gemini, Mistral, all of those, we already have them. But in case you want to use your own model, let's say like a open source one, or maybe you fine-tuned your own model on your specific data set and you want to use that. So like one of the platforms of choice for people to share these sort of models is HuggingFace, and so we have one of these integrations with HuggingFace, so you can easily kind of deploy any of these models from from HuggingFace. Yeah, so let's get started. This is sort of an advanced tutorial, so I would assume a couple of things. One is that you're kind of familiar with the Botstacks platform, like how to create, route your different nodes, what they are, how it all fits together. I'll still be using a very simple template. This is the travel chatbot. Like this is one of the examples that's there on the main site, so I kind of stuck to that. So yeah, I'll be using this to demonstrate how you can bring your own model. So let's get started. Right. So right off the bat, I'll go to the LLM node, and basically the model will go right down to bring your own model. And over here you'll see providers. Right now we're going to go with HuggingFace. And yeah, so basically there's two things you'll need to get started with this. One is your token, which you can generate from your account. We'll show you how to do that in a second. And the endpoint URL. So this is like how once it's deployed, once you deploy a custom endpoint, you'll get like a URL, and that's how you kind of access it. So these two things, once you have that, you can basically use whatever model that's there on HuggingFace. I used a pretty simple system prompt, nothing fancy, because yeah, this is just a demo. So yeah. So yeah, let's get to HuggingFace. It's basically huggingface.co. You can just do hf.co. You'll end up at the same place. Once you're logged in, this is like kind of the home page there. Yeah. So I think firstly I'll show you how to create the token. So you'll just go to your your profile, not your profile, but you go to settings, and there should be access tokens. There you go. And yeah, so basically you can just go ahead, create a new token, ensure it's right access. Yeah, I mean you don't really need it technically, but usually it's kind of just good practice to have the right token, because sometimes I think like if you use a gated model, then you require the right permissions. That's how they kind of check if you have the access to the model. So yeah, in general you can just go for the right model and just name it anything. I already have a bunch of tokens, so I'll just once you generate it, kind of just shows up here, and yeah, just copy it, and yeah, make sure never to post your tokens publicly. I'll just repeat that. Um, anyways, so now that we have the access token, just go back and so now we like the stage is set. Like you can pick whichever model you want to deploy. Let's say we want to use the Llama 3, but I want to go for one of the quantized versions of it because I want to save money. So so I'll just go to Unslot's repository. They have 4-bit quantized version. Sorry if it's a bit technical, but basically quantization just is like you compress the model. So usually like most models are in 16-bit. This is a 4-bit model, so it kind of compresses it, so it uses less memory, so you can run it on a cheaper GPU and save money. So I kind of prefer quantized models to the full models because performance is like pretty much the same. Anyways, getting back to it. So we have a Llama 3 quantized model. This is the model page. Basically all of the models kind of have this similar sort of thing. We go to deploy, and you can pick preferably I would suggest going for the dedicated endpoint, because the serverless endpoint, it kind of, because it's like a free thing, so it kind of sometimes like and they do this sort of like asynchronous processing. So like if you're testing, you can try serverless, but if you're deploying it to production, I would highly recommend getting a dedicated endpoint, because there have been instances where, not me personally, but like I've heard from people where like they've deployed something on a serverless API, and it just gives like random, it hallucinates, or like, because it's like it's doing parallel processing, so like someone else might have asked for something, and then it might just come into your stream, and I mean it's a trade-off that you make. I mean, it's good to see like whether like you want to use it or not, but again, highly recommend getting a dedicated endpoint. So we go there, this page opens up, and so this is the model repository. I'm going to name it quantized test. You can pick whichever platform you're comfortable with. Don't really specify. Right now I'm just going to go with the basic GPU instance, and the protected, I think that's like the best trade-off, because you just need your token to access it. So this requires valid token for authentication. Public is just like two in the open. So nothing really is needed. It's already quantized, so don't need to do that. We'll just create the endpoint, and it's gonna take a couple of minutes to initialize, so you can just grab a cup of coffee or something. Okay, it looks like the endpoint failed. There's a mismatch in the tokenizer. I think that's more of a fault on Unslot's part. Let's do one thing. I'll just switch to one of the endpoints that I have used before. So this is one of the Mistral 7B instruct models. I think this is just a safer bet. I guess because it's a newer model, so there's just like stuff to do with dependencies. I mean this sort of thing kind of happens with custom models, right? Like you do everything by hand. You define your tokenizer, you define vocabularies, custom chat templates, stuff like that. So if there's a mismatch in like versioning, dependencies, things like this happen. So I guess it comes with the territory. So anyways, we'll just switch to this other endpoint. And one thing I forgot to mention is that, like, before you get to this page, usually, like, if you don't have like a card on file, HuggingFace will kind of just prompt you to enter your card details to just get started with billing. And yeah, I guess we'll just wait for this to start. And we are live. And so yeah, so this is the endpoint URL that you need. So I'll just go ahead and copy this, and we'll go back to Botstacks and to our LLM node. I'll add in the HuggingFace token, add in the URL, and yeah, so let's take our custom model for a spin. So I'll just type in hello. Might take a couple of seconds for the tokenizer to start. Yep. There you go. You're using a custom model that's hosted on HuggingFace. Who is the president of the USA? Let's see if Mr. knows that. Is Joe Biden. Brilliant. So there you have it. This is how you can use any model that's hosted on HuggingFace. And yeah, good luck building your bots. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or any of the Botstacks team. See you next time.